The situation of the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar has once again come into the spotlight. A European Union humanitarian envoy voices concern about the dramatic deprivation in Myanmar's camps. Head of the EU's Humanitarian Aid Department, Claus Sorensen, says the fundamental rights of tens of thousands of people are being disrespected. He also voiced alarm at the threats against aid workers delivering basic necessities to people in the camps by what he called extremist elements. Most of the people living in these camps are Rohingyas who become homeless following deadly unrest in Rakhine State last year. The violence in Rakhine State left hundreds of people dead and 140,000 displaced. On Thursday, Myanmar rejected a UN resolution urging the country to grant citizenship to Rohingyas, accusing the international body of infringing its sovereignty. Well, let's talk with S Reynolds from the Statelessness Refugees International, and she joins us to tell us more about this. When we want to take a look at the situation of the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar, it's nothing new at this point, but this development regarding how the UN has pretty much urged the country, well, in this case, to grant citizenship to Rohingyas, but highlighting the case should invoke some kind of aid, at least translating down. Why is that not happening, such as what we're seeing in these camps in terms of the ones that have been displaced now living in these camps?
Actually, that's a really good question. And the UN resolution, I should just say, is such a positive and important step, both for the Rohingya people who have the right to nationality, the right to citizenship, but also for the international community to take seriously that the right to nationality needs to be conferred and that it should be condemned when countries decide not to permit people to have citizenship. The aid is actually there to a great extent. The problem is that it can't get in because the government of Myanmar, whether at the state level or at the central government level or the local level, is just not permitting humanitarians to get in. So at the state level, there are whole sections of Rakhine State where the Rohingya live, where the vast majority of Rohingya live, who simply are not being permitted to get aid. And in the refugee and the IDP camps that you talked about, the displacement camps, there are humanitarian workers who are being threatened every day that if they go in and they provide assistance, they may be harmed. And people are being harmed, and they're being arrested.
You know, when we look at the reports, in many cases it is said that what is happening to the Rohingyas is pretty much something that is state-backed. And it's part of the culture there. It's been like this for quite some time. The cruel and inhumane ways that they get treated, and of course the extreme being what we have witnessed, in particular in Rakhine State. Now, hasn't the state promised that it's not going to keep backing the extreme violence that is incurred mainly by the Buddhists on the Rohingyas, or is that just for public consumption, not really translating into action?
Unfortunately, I'm not even sure I would say that the government has made that promise. There is no national champion for the Rohingya. There is no national champion for their rights. There is no one in the government right now that is saying this has to stop, no more. The Rohingya have to be treated with dignity, with respect for their human rights. And until the central government makes clear that this is unacceptable, that they are not going to allow the state government, the government of Rakhine, or the local townships to mistreat, to abuse, and to persecute the Rohingya, they have no reason to change. There is impunity and there's no accountability.
Thank you very much for that. Pleasure talking to you. S Reynolds there from the Statelessness Refugees International, talking to us from Maryland. Thank you.